Of course, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, here we are. Let's see. We are talking about the inauguration of the President of the United States this morning, and you had 10 executive orders signed into law. So here we are, trying to figure this one out this morning. Not sure exactly how. We're going to do this one at all this morning, Elise. It is very interesting for me to do this one.
And some of the changes that are being made. You don't have to look too far. It pops up on social media, this new order, and I need to delve 10 things to come in office and just change. And, the political landscape, certainly, it's a very, very interesting one, Mikey G.
Well, if I know anything about politics, I could see it. I grew up and watch it change from time to time in different things. Different people come and do different things. I didn't like what you did the last time, so I'm gonna change that. I
No,
remember.
well,
I
it's
remember.
all about change, right?
But
When persons are campaigning, it's and the reason that party or one party is elected over is a change that is promised.
that is promise.
And
Is promised. Yes.
so one thing that is good is that you say what you say you're gonna do. It's one thing
and
to
keep
make a promise
and keep your
and
promise.
don't do it. But it's another thing. So I am sure there are persons who are happy if that's what they are bargaining for.
Well,
On the
well,
other side,
well. Here's
yes,
here's a thing that a lot of people would say. When you promise something good for the people, you don't do that. But when you promise something evil, that's what you come and do.
yes,
You promise a good thing, but you can't do it. But you promise a wicked thing, and that wicked thing is what you actually end up doing. I mean, lots of
yeah,
persons are having that conversation this morning. They are hearing that, they are feeling that, and it's a sentiment on the ground that persons are thinking that this president is not for a certain ethnic background, ethnicity in terms of people. So it is very a lot of mixed feelings going on, Lady Elise. I must say that to you this morning. Persons are having different energy in this direction. So I don't know. I don't know, but I guess we'd have to explore it a little bit and see what comes out at the end of this thing. You know, so
yes,
so much is happening. You know, so much is happening. So 10 things that has happened so far. Um, he has signed quite a bit. He has looked at quite a bit of stuff, and these orders seem to be critical to a lot of persons' survival,
yes,
and they are definitely having a field day with that one. They are troubled. Many people are troubled in those.
yes.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to give you the 10 things that we are looking at, and I guess we'll delve into that a little bit more. course, we go to our devotional by the lady Susan Long this morning. And then tease you up a little bit with some of those 10 questions that we want to share with you, 10 items that we want to share with you this morning on
10 things to change your year. 10 things new that's happening. Can you guess what those 10 things are?
All
It's
right.
very news.
When we come back, please help us to look at these things as we do this one with you.
Good morning. This is day 23. The street of the city was pure gold, like transparent glass. Revelation 21, verse 21. Eager for Heaven, written by Anne Setas. My neighbor Jasmine, age 9, was sitting on the front porch with me one summer evening. Out of the blue, she started talking about her bad choices and how she needed God's forgiveness. We talked and prayed together, and she asked Jesus to be her Savior. Questions about heaven started pouring out of her. Are the streets really gold? Will my mom be there? What if she isn't? Will I have a bed? Or will I sleep on a cloud? What will I eat? I assured her that heaven would be a perfect home and that she would be with Jesus, who would give her everything she needed. She replied with excitement, "Well, then let us go right now." The Apostle Paul had a heavenly perspective too. His testimony was, "To me, to live is Christ, to die is gain." He knew that this life was about knowing, trusting, and serving God, but he also knew that life in heaven would be far better because he would be with Christ. Jasmine is ready to go now. Are we eager for heaven as she is? No matter what we learn of God and of the fullness of His grace, the picture will not be complete until we meet Him face to face. A quote this morning reads, "Those who have their hearts fixed on heaven will hold loosely the things of earth." End quote.
What we hold in heaven this morning, Elise, is a very important thing. Many persons, just listen to that devotional this morning brings me back to just being steadfast in what you believe and how you visualize, how you visualize things.
And, Mikey G, it is certainly consistent with the conversation that we have been having because as you exist, as you live in this world, I find it impossible to keep ourselves sort of isolated from the things that are happening. And as far as what's happening in the US is concerned, all eyes are on the changes, the many changes that have happened just in a number of days.
Yes.
We already knew the mandate of the newly elected president. He made it clear before he stepped into office, and his inauguration, of course, it was on Monday. And just like Martin Luther King, he also has a dream, right? Martin Luther said, "I have a dream that one day everyone will be free and equal." And certainly this president has a dream as well. And certainly as he has stepped into office, he has started to implement these necessary changes for the dream to happen. So it's quite an interesting conversation, Mikey G. And then the devotional speaks about heaven, because certainly if we keep our minds focused on the things that are happening around us,
Yes.
we lose sight of the bigger goal.
Mm.
Yeah, we lose sight of what is beyond here. We are so busy with work and school and the next political party and how it will impact you. And if you can travel to the US as you did before, and if you can, all the things that are going to be happening. And certainly it will impact our lives. But can we have that peace where we know that our heavenly home awaits us and God has promised? And his promise is not a dream that he has to change and he has to make one person miserable in order to make, we all have a choice. And once we make the choice, God has made the streets of gold. Yes.
Well, what is happening to a lot of persons is that, especially in Christendom, is Christendom is having a very sad day today, uh, believing that this is where we are supposed to be residing. A lot of persons
Yes.
are upset within the church itself that these things are happening. You see, while it is happening, we as people can feel what we want to feel because we must feel it. But as people who understand prophecy and understand that the way forward is how God intends it to go,
Or should understand prophecy.
or should understand prophecy, which is has proven that we really are a little bit far away from what we really thought. In fact, here's what's happening to most of our peeps right now. There's a thing going on that says what we believed before is no longer relevant today.
Yes.
And so what they did, they threw away the old doctrines.
Yes.
Because those were old doctrines, because it's AI technology time now. They need
Yes.
new doctrines to navigate your way. And so
Right.
they have taught the little ones how to believe the ideas that old people, old things are not good. And these things are being taught, the little ones get up and get up in this mentality, This is
Mhm.
something that was taught earlier on in the enemy has been very, very cunning, and very decisive, He is precise in the things he wants upon us, right?
Right.
So
Right.
earlier on, you switch the things up and you make sure that the younger generation has a dislike for older persons, or what you'd call a disregard for older persons' advice or even their knowledge or wisdom of how life can go. And so, they have brought a new idea into play that disregards the what you call the experience and the
Right.
wisdom
Yes.
of the antediluvian, right? So the younger generation comes up with the idea that we know more than you people. We are more exposed. We have more technology, and you don't know how to use them. And this is the idea that comes up. But not knowing that every time you see a dispensation, war is war, no matter which set of AI or person fighting it with swords or knives or stones. It's the same thing. The result is death, destruction, and total anarchy, right?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
we
Yes.
know, no matter which way you put it, bad is bad, evil is evil, whether it is from in the 21st century, from in the dark ages, or in now in the new AI time. Evil spelled the same way. It didn't change. Only that you find new ways of doing the wicked thing that you do, right? So what happened to a lot of people, they don't understand this one thing. And so we have brought ourselves to that knowledge.
Yes.
Throwing away our information of navigating the journey to this point. And so our peeps have thrown away that information. Don't want to teach it to the younger ones anymore. Younger ones come up, don't know a thing. They have no clue what they are. And so they are leaving and going off track, becoming anything they want because they have not set a foundation for them, right? And I will say this without fear or favor. I've watched it happen. I've seen it, and I'm so disappointed in some of our top persons who should actually know better and did nothing about it. So it's troubling. It's very troubling to see that.
I think what has happened, Mikey G, is it's almost as if we are in a slumber, and
Mm.
we are so. I think I mentioned, and I don't think I don't know if I'm communicating how exactly what I want to share. It's almost as if we get so caught up. Like I'm in such a competition at work, at school, at that I forget that there's a bigger picture,
Bigger
a
picture.
much bigger picture
It's not
ahead.
about this.
And so
Yeah.
so even at church, I'm so caught up with the activities for this year, for years ago, but then I forget what God has truly called me to do. And as a matter of fact, I'll step on you and step on your toe, and I will even dislike you as a Christian, and dislike what you do, or even,
Mm.
because I'm busy getting to the promised land, or
I have no
busy
time for you.
hitting the targets. It is so amazing. I had a conversation, and I need to reach out to Dr. Thomas because it was such a wonderful conversation. I had the opportunity to attend a meeting of Christian believers, not only Seventh day Adventists, who had a mandate. And there they were in the Word of God saying that these are the things that are happening, and this is what the Bible says. And we are going to be praying. They were deliberate in going to certain areas where some activities that they didn't agree with were happening. And of course, we'll get him as a guest here. And they actually went out and tried to rescue people that were making a decision that they thought um, went contrary to Christian belief. And not only were they praying for them, but they were providing a way for them to move forward. So it's not just the prayer, it's about rescuing somebody who is beside you. So even with all that's happening, Mikey G, I think the call for us is to not just let it be something out there happening, and we don't know
well,
how to be
well,
as Christians.
well. This is where it is. But to be honest with you, Lady Elise, it has come to the point where now it's time for warning, not for rescuing. I would say to
Yes, they'll draw you too. Yes, that's unfortunate. Yes, yes, yes. This is a warning. Yes. Mikey, are you muted? Why is it that the viewers are saying they're not hearing you clearly? I hope it isn't that.
I am muted. I can't believe this.
You
All my
know, I want to say a special good morning to the our VIPs. Yes, yes, and
OVIPs
you missed
and I said so many things and missed all of that. Huh?
you missed a sermonette because of course Mikey G was muted all this time.
Oh my word. I'm sorry guys. Well, My apologies. I can't go back and say all the things that I said a while ago. I am.
Well, you know what I think is important that you say right now is a 10. Do you have that information? The 10 executive decisions that were passed just these what 2 days? Yes.
Here is where I'm gonna go. Let me go for a commercial, and when we come back, we'll do this
Your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure the roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345 927 7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345 927 7509.
And I feel so bad there about that a while ago that we were saying so many things and you missed so much. Sorry guys, I apologize. Technical difficulty. Sometimes that's Murphy's law is that if something can go wrong, then it will.
On that note, I will like to share with you the 10 executive orders which have been made, and of course, how they possibly could impact you, then you could make decisions, right? And so, the executive orders under the new Trump administration that are likely to have global impact. Number one, US to leave the World Health Organization. In what came as a shock, international NGOs and human rights campaigners, Trump has signed an order which will see the US exit the World Health Organization. And number two, the Gulf of Mexico renamed. Trump has ordered the Gulf of Mexico to be renamed the Gulf of America, and will also rename Alaska's Mount Delaney to Mount McKinney. Then TikTok pause has been TikTok ban has been paused after a 14-hour ban was enforced on the Chinese owned app. Trump has signed an executive order delaying the enforcement of a full federal ban on TikTok. Only two genders will be recognized. Only two genders, male and female, will be recognized under the new administration in a reversal of executive actions under Biden. uh, Diversity initiatives dismantled. Trump revoked two orders signed under the Biden administration, one of which focused on advancing racial equity for underserved communities, and the other combating gender and sexual orientation discrimination. And of course, the end of birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship, or anyone born on U.S. soil to be guaranteed citizenship, is one of the many immigration related orders that are being targeted under Trump. So that is also something that will change. Canceling sanctions on Israeli settlers in the West Bank. And of course, rights organizations have lambasted Trump's decision to overturn Biden's sanctions on Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank. And number 8, declaring a national emergency. Trump declared a national emergency in response to concerns that the power grid is struggling to handle a surge in demand from data centers. Signing the order, he said this meant you can do whatever you have to do to get out of that problem, and we do have the kind of emergency. And withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement. And of course, is that it? Okay, and
the climate change agreement that is, that we're looking at for so long.
And number 10, revoking electric vehicle targets. Under Biden, a non-binding executive order was signed, which was geared towards making half of all new electric vehicles sold in 2030 electric. However, Trump has now reversed this, saying the U.S. will not sabotage our own industries while China pollutes with impunity. So there you have it. A lot of changes. And of course, there are elections happening everywhere. We, of course, listed a whole lot of places, and we are right here in Grand Cayman, and elections are coming up. So, with elections come change in policies and how it will affect you and so forth. Jamaica is gearing up for an election as well. So change.
Well, what I'd say, Lady Elise, I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, we have a few conversations on some of these executive orders that we listened to just now, and hopefully we can decipher a few things.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Hour. Of course, good morning. If you're just joining us, welcome.
Good morning to you, whether you're tuned in YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, or if you're listening while you're traveling to work, that means you're on www.flashpointmedia.ky. And you know, you didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. Of course, we were just recapping the executive decisions or the executive orders that
were signed.
Were signed by the newly elected president of the U.S. And of course, certainly they do have global impact. And so, you know, Mikey G, yes. So if you were born in the U.S., that does not mean
that you are a U.S. citizen. I mean, come now. I think it is not going to be overturning those who have already gotten through or got papers and all these things, but it certainly affect persons who will now be in the U.S. The Cameroonians already have that law in place.
Yes. If you're born here, doesn't mean you have a birthright.
But does it happen in Canada the same way? Is it the same thing in Canada though?
I don't know. I would have to.
If you're born in Canada, are you a Canadian citizen by just being by birth?
No, I will have to let you know. You know, it's just fascinating, and one day we need to revisit the history of the U.S., a country built on immigrants, and certainly we started the week, and if you did not catch day 1 and day 2 episode of the Breakfast Hour, Martin Luther King Day was celebrated on Monday, and we had the opportunity to revisit speeches made many years ago. We also recapped the fact that Marcus Garvey was exonerated after being charged in 1923 for mail fraud.
Yes. He was charged for being black, and that's what it is. I'm sorry. You make up a story.
Well, on the
because
books,
it would sound as if it would be the right thing to do.
On the books, and I want to say
on the books is for mail fraud, but if you look at it, and in reality and truth, just apply truth to that lie, it would be because he was a black man, and they locked him up.
To be black is not.
And so to be black in those times was a crime. You know, I watched this movie. This documentary or movie at the point, but it is a true story where they use a beer can and stone a little black girl coming from higher up on a tree and use beer cans and stone her to death.
What?
Yes.
For real?
That was a situation, right? And this was after slavery, and people were living now in fear of their lives for white supremacy. And white people, young boys, saw a little girl coming from maybe the grocery store or somewhere or from school, and wherever she was coming from, tied her up and used beer cans and stone her, peeling the very skin from her bones.
We have come a far way, but we are still not
there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Do you think we're going to get there, Mikey G?
No, I don't think we're ever going to be there.
We're never going to be there.
No, we as human beings has found ingenious ways to hate each other more and more every day.
Every day, and it goes across the board.
Yes.
We sat here and we said there are over how many religions, and believe me, Christian people.
Not even Christians.
And I'm gonna get that figure.
Not even Christians.
I'm gonna get that.
Not even Christians.
Denominations.
Not even Christians like Christians.
And yes.
So when you listen to this conversation, you must understand that this is not a simple thing. We don't like each other.
Okay, so let me get the facts. All right. So, Pentecostal, Presbyterian, Lutheran, Baptist, Apostolic, Methodist, the list goes on. Estimations show there are more than 200 Christian denominations in the U.S. and a staggering 45,000. We're talking about Christian denominations. 45,000 globally. And this is according to the Center for the Study of Global Christianity. So why does Christianity have so many branches?
Well, while we're not looking at Christianity as the focal point this morning, we're looking at hate as the focal point and reasons for people to hate each other. Look at what we have done with the very thing that God would have given to us to be the purest thing for human beings to get back to heaven. The enemy has so much corrupted it to the point where now we are fighting amongst each other. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who's right? Who's wrong? You're not right. I'm right. You're wrong. And you're not saying the right things. You're evil. You're wicked. And we are going on and on.
And I'm not praying for you, you know. I am not praying for you.
I know. You're not praying for Mikey G. Don't pray for Mikey G because Mikey G is a wicked fellow.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Mikey? It's time for the news. It is time for the news.
Did we have some riddle this morning, Lady Elise?
We have the riddle. And
release the riddle and then afterwards we get to the news.
The riddle is brought to us by Hazel G.
All right. Good morning, Hazel G. How are you this morning?
The riddle for today is, it belongs to you, but your friends use it more. What is it? And Mikey G, that one easy.
Don't let me talk. Don't let me give the answer because I can't give the answer in here.
Let me tell you something though. Our karaoke is coming up and there will be prizes and
surprises. All right.
So, all your riddle answers, take note. Prizes and surprises, 1st of February, South Sound Civic Center.
The news is brought to you by Asai Ultrasound for all your ultrasound needs right here in the Grand Cayman
Islands. When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4, Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Good morning. It is Thursday, January 23, and these are the news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. I'm Corley Karen. Jet ski congestion raises safety concerns on public beach. Jet ski operators on public beach are warning of safety risks following the Port Authority's decision to relocate all water sports operators to the North Channel near Bonnymoon Beach Club. Previously, operators were split between the north and south ends, ensuring better balance and safety. David Lyons of Airwaves Water Sports criticized the move, citing overcrowding and the lack of markers separating swim zones from jet ski channels. He called for urgent action to prevent accidents. Economists questions Cayman's cruise ship contributions. Caribbean economist Marla Dukaram has questioned the financial value of cruise ships to the Cayman economy, noting that while per capita spending increased to $116, it has declined in real items. Dukaram encouraged Cayman to elevate its cruise ship strategy, while tourists Tourism Minister Kenneth Brown reiterated his support for cruise pairs during the Chamber of Commerce's Economic Forum, Cayman 2035. Mangrove Restoration Project thrives in Georgetown. A mangrove restoration pilot project using recycled glass is yielding green results at the Georgetown Bacadere. The initiative, spearheaded by Glassroots KY and the Department of Environment, has demonstrated that milled glass combined with soil is a viable medium for growing mangroves. Deputy Director Tim Austin praised the success, which was made possible with the help of volunteers and a Darwin Initiative grant. Cayman's Got Talent. Aspiring broadcasters shine. Over 100 Caymanians auditioned for TV roles last week during screen tests held at Hotel Indigo. Compass Media's talent search drew applicants from diverse industries, including real estate, hospitality, and business. Auditions simulated live newsroom environments with hopefuls vying for positions such as anchors, editors, and reporters. In Jamaica, BOJ governor considers legal action for interest rate adjustments. Bank of Jamaica Governor Richard Biles hinted at potential legal measures to address commercial banks' reluctance to lower interest rates in line with BOJ cuts. Speaking before the Economic and Production Committee, Biles noted that banks' dominance in savings accounts hampers competitive rates. An upcoming eKYC system may simplify account transfers, giving customers more options. Rehabilitation focus at Tambourine Farm Correctional Center. The Department of Correctional Services is prioritizing a holistic approach to rehabilitation. Tambourine Farm's Rehabilitation Manager, Theresa Shand, explained that inmates are being equipped with tools for societal reintegration. The program addresses biopsychosocial and spiritual needs, aiming to create empowered, productive individuals. St. Martin police cracked down on illegal firearms. St. Martin authorities have intensified efforts against illegal firearms, seizing 6 guns and arresting 5 individuals in a week. Police have emphasized zero tolerance and called on the community to support the campaign, especially by educating youth about firearm dangers. British Virgin Islands celebrates tourism milestone. The British Virgin Islands has surpassed 1 million visitors for the first time since 2016. Premier Dr. Natalia Wheatley credited the 9.8% increase to the resilience of the tourism sector and diverse offerings. Cruise visitors alone accounted for over 768,000 arrivals. The BVI is optimistic about continued growth in 2025 with new developments on the horizon. Those were your news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. Please continue to stay with us throughout the day for more updates.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right. So this morning, so much things, so many things.
Welcome back to our listeners. You're joining us live on YouTube or Facebook. We are happy to have you here on the breakfast hour. If you have not already done what you need to do, then you need to go ahead and subscribe and be notified every single time we are here. We are here without fail every morning to wake you up and give you a brand new start. We kickstart the week this week on Martin Luther King Day, which is not celebrated here in the Cayman Islands, but of course we are a global media service. We don't, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we go beyond the seas and the shores.
The borders.
And
The borders.
yeah, the borders.
The borders.
Remember that we had a flashback in history and we shared with you Martin Luther's last speech as if he knew that he would have been cut down early. That one was a profound one. He said, I've been to the mountaintop, and certainly we have been to the mountaintop right here at Flashpoint. We have mountaintop experiences. Of course, on Tuesday, our financial advisor, he came on and he was talking about how we can save our coins. Yeah. You know, these added expenses.
Penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah,
Well, penny foolish and pound wise.
The extra expenses. How we can be knowledgeable of the hidden fees as well, and how we should look out and read the fine print. On Wednesday, Dr. K, our physician, and she's not no sports. She is a medical practitioner with many years of experience, and she spoke about arthritis. Did you know there are over 100?
When your heart average is on the right or on the left.
No, not that, Mikey. Arthritis. She spoke about osteoarthritis, gouty arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and of course talking about it, how it relates to when the change in weather comes. And part 2 comes next week, Wednesday on Wellness Wednesday.
On Wellness Wednesday.
And here you are today with us, joining us, and we are talking about how the executive orders that were made by the president of the U.S., how they will impact. They certainly have global impact, and we have been having that discussion.
It is having global impact, because even the Canadian Prime Minister has already resigned from his job just by President Trump.
So, and of course, we just shared the news. A lot's happening.
I'm sorry about that, but
a lot happening here in the Cayman Islands, and I will say congratulations, of course, to the winner of our riddle.
The winner, hold on, man. Come on.
We had a winner on YouTube.
Come on. Hold on. You know, I am. You know, I'm up for the riddle the whole time. I'm waiting for some winners and some persons to show that they are able to win these things. You know.
Well, we had a winner on YouTube, and of course, you gotta come down here for karaoke so that we can give you your prize, because we are going to be giving out prizes for the riddle.
Right.
And the karaoke is the 1st of February. Yes, 1st of February. And we're going to have cut a wampus time. We're planning to have some nice food and entertainment. And it promises to be an awesome.
Riddle me this. are you going to be the one who's going to be doing the DJing this morning, Lady Elise?
Yes, yes. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Guess me this riddle and perhaps not. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Guess me this riddle and perhaps not. I don't think I can do it as well as
Hazel G does it.
he does it.
I'm going to say good morning to Hazel G this morning. I know you're hanging out in the US and having a great time.
Yeah, she said she was cold.
She was cold. At 20 degrees, you're freezing. That's not fine.
I'm seeing if I get a, you know.
Elise, at 20 degrees, you're past cold. You're not cold anymore. You are now freezing.
Yeah, she said she was cold.
All right. So first, I guess you have to tell the listeners the riddle first, and then see who got the riddle. Let's go to the riddle first.
Okay, so the riddle is, which was already answered. It belongs to you, Mikey G. It belongs to you, but your friends use it more. What is it? What is it, Mikey G? What is
Somebody win it already. Why do I have to figure it out?
It's easy. It belongs to you. I want to thank Hazel G for supplying an easy riddle this morning. You know, we're back with our riddles, and certainly we want them easy so that, you know, we can get.
So I can win. I can get a chance to win too. You know, it's too hard.
Yes.
I don't.
We have to find a way so that we can also share the prizes with those, because our winner this morning is not in Grand Cayman. So I want to say good morning and congratulations to Ian. Yeah, I should put up the congratulations banner. You won, you won, you won. Yes, you won the riddle, and the answer is your name. It belongs to you, but your friends use it more. See how easy that is, Mikey?
See how easy that is? All right, riddle me this, riddle me that. Guess me this riddle. But perhaps not. All right, so I didn't get that one. I didn't get it. But my name is, they use my name more than.
I'm feeling that you're not even listening to the riddle.
I am
You're not even listening.
I'm listening. Jet skis in Cayman.
Yes.
Jet skis. I'm thinking about jet ski idea thingy.
They're moving them.
Move them from where to where, basically.
I heard it used, but I'm not sure what that looks like. The move.
Because the jet ski idea is that it draws it's survival. Because it's a business. It's not just people just going out there and just riding their jet ski. It's actually a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's an industry, right? And so this industry is now going to be suffering because it requires people.
Yes.
So if you take them and put them somewhere where there's no people and say, ride your jet ski here, because you're out of the, what you're doing, you're causing accidents to persons who are trying to swim.
I'm not sure what was the reason, what's the rationale for the change, and certainly we could explore that a little bit more. But yeah, they're being asked to move. So, and if you have been to, I've not been to the public beach when it's busy, and I understand that when we do have cruise ship, that tourists typically when they come to the island, that's one of the places that they go to. So perhaps something would have been put in place that they would have advised the persons, the visitors, where they can access the use of the jet skis, so that certainly persons would have been disenfranchised by the move. That is certainly the hope. And I'm sure that would have been taken into consideration, Mikey G. then there's silence. While we explore the highlights of the news, I will also share with you quickly, and I always like to let listeners know what is significant about this day. If it's your birthday, please go ahead and share with us. Send us the date of your birthday, and Mikey G will sing a song. No, we'll play a song for you and get the greetings going. But today is National Pie Day. National is Maternal Health Awareness Day. National Rhubarb Pie Day. National Handwriting Day, and Clashing Clothes Day. And this, of course, provided by Days of the Year. So if you woke up this morning and you're not sure what you ought to wear, it is National Clashing Clothes Day. So do you remember the days when you couldn't wear polka dot and stripe, when it was a thing that they don't match? Well, that has changed. And today is a day where you use clashing things that don't necessarily match. You can wear that today. It's national.
I have on my plaid today. So.
You have on a striped pants?
No, I don't want no stripes right now, but I have on my plaid. Plaids are also good.
Well, you could wear plaid and plaid. That would be hilarious. Anyway, enough of that.
I'm gonna leave you with that one. All right.
Yes.
Today, certainly, we have had so much information in there. We didn't talk much about the 10 things that were changed in the US.
Well, two genders.
I wanted
and someone
to
remind me.
Two genders.
Two genders, but remember the word gender. Please look
the word
it up.
Gender. The word gender is not a word that is applicable to male and female.
Yes.
So when you look at that word, the word itself, when you actually in law make the word gender the law, it has already disenfranchised you.
So therefore, don't take it from us. Research it yourself.
Yeah.
Go and look for the definition not according to Mikey G, just look in the dictionary.
In fact, let's go for a break and come back, and let's look at what gender actually means. Let's look at what the word gender actually means. Let's go for the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, and of course the Webster's are one of those dictionaries, and then come back and decide whether or not. Yeah.
Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drops and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on.
Do the DCH, drop, cover, and hold on. Alright. Here's where I'm gonna go this morning, Lady Elise.
Don't go anywhere. You don't go anywhere. Allow me to read what
we are we are exploring this morning the mystery behind the word gender.
Yes.
Let's go for the mystery. The mystery is there. All right. Mystery.
Okay. Right. So, according to Oxford
Yes.
reference, it says sex is the biological category. Biological category.
Biological
Whereas,
category.
whereas gender is a culturally shaped expression of sexual difference. The masculine way in which men should behave and the feminine way in which women should behave. So gender is not certainly the sexes we already know is just male and female. So the word, as you explore it, and this is not according to me, this is according to the Oxford.
If you look at the website, might widen the gap a little bit more.
Let's not widen the gap. It's too late to widen the gap. It's time for us to get out of the studio, Mikey G. Don't widen it this morning.
Well, we wanted to make sure you know that the word gender don't mean anything more than you can be anything you want. Donkeys, cats, dogs, anything can be genderized, you know, and it's inclusive. Anyways, so what we want to is men and women are male and female. Leave the word gender alone for those persons who want to share different things.
Yes.
I have no problems with that. But you shouldn't include men and women in there. You should leave that to people who want to include themselves in all it. It is not fair. You know, and then you have a word called cisgender. And then you want to, you want to inoculate now. You want to inoculate people with the word cisgender. So, it is wrong, right? It is totally wrong. And we now lost our mind. We don't know what a woman is or what a man is. But it didn't stop there. It didn't stop there, ladies. You look at climate change story.
Yes.
The climate change story is a bigger one than you can imagine.
Oh, okay.
The climate change story is going to attach itself to worship.
Yes.
It's going to be, because what it did the last time with COVID, it showed that when people stopped polluting the air and took a day off, like a Sunday, it made sense. That one day of week when everybody got a chance to do something, it makes sense. And so the new Sabbath will arise from it.
Well, according to this, it says, this is a quote from the news headline. It says, I'm immediately withdrawing from the unfair one-sided Paris Climate Accord ripoff. Right? He previously called Biden's policies to expand the U.S. clean energy sector a green new scam. So,
well,
Trump informed the UN of the decision, despite the U.S. being the world's second biggest emitter of pollution, which causes global warming. The withdrawal will take around a year to be formalized and will mean the U.S. will join Iran, Yemen, and Libya as the only countries not a part of the agreement.
all right. Yes, we are at ground zero at that point.
Yes, yes.
Didn't mean that.
See,
Didn't mean that US won't be the leaders in the new formulation of the whole thing all over again. So it's off the table now for this signing. You know, didn't mean that it's not going to be heading it up at another time, in another way that really brings some real difficult questions to answer in a little while.
Yes, a lot of things are on
Word.
And that's what politics is about, Mikey G. So what you find is one party will spend their tenure implementing change, as he will do, and then at the end of his term, then the other party will spend their time undoing.
I remember
reversing.
In Jamaica there was a thing called industrial training centers across the island. And remind me, I want to talk a little bit about the World Health Organization. So let's touch on it just a bit. I want to tell this little story first, in conjunction to what we're talking about, changes and politics. And the government at the time, they implemented the trade training centers for people to learn skills.
Yes.
I know skill training is treated as a
very important.
No, people who are engaged in skill training are the less valued people in society and the lowest. And
they're not as smart, eh?
They're not as smart as the smarter people.
Oh, okay.
They're the low valued ones.
Yes.
You go to a training center. Oh, he's gone to a training center. Oh my God.
Yes.
You never do well in school. And that was the background on the whole thing.
Right.
And so if you never bright in your head, you went to trade school. If you never bright in your head.
Yes.
And that was the mandate on that. That was majority of the youngsters in terms of male. There was a male oriented exercise. Lots of females were in there for different roles like dressmaking and stuff like that, but it was a lot on a lesser scale. But the trade areas were mostly male oriented.
Yes.
And so that was the stigmatized aspect of trade training center. Anyways, it was one party won, and they destroyed it. They basically collapsed the whole program, took it out of commission completely, and then reinvented it and called it HEART.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to the training center, there was a headquarters in 203 Windward Road, Rockford, where there was a big warehouse where they kept, when the centers was destroyed. What happened was that most of the persons who were in charge of the whole thing at the time, they got control of the equipment.
Right.
And they took them from their training centers and opened business places with them.
Mm-hmm.
This would be furniture manufacturing, this would be garment and textile, this would be mechanics, this would be welding and all these other skills. But these men would have taken those very equipment that would teach young men and women how to become industrious and productive.
Mm-hmm.
And use it, take them out of schooling, training, and then use it for personal business.
Yes.
But it was one party who destroyed it, but they took the opportunity to take the equipment for themselves.
Yes.
And millions of dollars was made from that. That was something that I looked at when I went and saw how many equipment were still left in there after so many was gone. The little bit that they placed in storage versus how much was taken. I was disturbed by it. And they came with HEART afterwards to redo the very same thing that was already there.
Yes.
I was saying, why didn't you just rebrand the thing and just use the same structures that you have? So
right.
Name it, rebrand it, change curriculum guide, and change the way you go forward in training.
Right.
But they had a destruction because of change of government. That was very disturbing. And Jamaica suffered that. And that was one of the many things, atrocities that Jamaica suffered under politics.
Mm.
You know, and I see we are looking at it still. 2025, we're going to be finding the same problems. I think we have a little bit or no time, Lady Elise.
The more things change,
the more they remain the same.
The more they remain the same. But, as we started, we reminded the viewers, and we started with our devotional, and we look and we take note of these happenings, not just looking from our eyes, but looking to a greater foundation, a greater city, one that, of course, the foundation is not on the things that are just temporal, but certainly a more positive. And so as you go out today, just put your trust in God and remember that He is ultimately your great one who cares for you, who loves you, who has the future in His hand. I want to thank you so much for tuning in live to the Breakfast Hour. I am Lady Elise. I hope that you enjoy the time you spent here with us today. Tomorrow is All Gospel Friday, and you'll find us right here, same place, same time. And we will, endeavor to showcase a few original songs from a few of our, um, what should I say? And I'm going to a few of our Flashpoint
Artists.
artists, and immediately a few are coming to mind, and so you have to tune in live. We'll be sharing a few of their songs and ways to contact them. I think we have a few songs, Mikey G, that we are more than able to share on the Breakfast Hour on All Gospel Friday, and we'll be featuring a few of our artists tomorrow. So you got to tune in live for that one.
Well, of course, I want to thank you for joining us, listeners and viewers alike, for this morning's episode of the Breakfast Hour. It was a very intense one this morning. Of course, part of it, I was not saying a thing.
Of course.
Well, I was saying so much. But anyways, hopefully some of it was caught somewhere else. I'm sure that it went out in the YouTube stream and in the Facebook stream somewhere out, but somewhere along the line of radio. We're not hearing much on radio. I think that's what was happening this time around. However, we hope and trust that next week we can bring some very valuable information to you. Tomorrow, of course, remember that we're having a family. We deemed Friday the family-centered
segment, yes.
Family-centered segment of the Breakfast Hour, where we deal with the family, right? And so we want to be clear that and be deliberate to look at these things, because it is one of the most important things, if not the most important, of all our conversations that we'll have right here on Flashpoint. And so tomorrow, please join us for our family segment. Yeah. Of course, for those who are joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, of course, soon to be X, I want to say thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, continue. And for those who have listened to us or joined us on www.flashpointmedia.py, where our radio is playing 24 hours. Of course, catch us for so many programs that we do just before you go to bed. Of course, Sensational Sunday, not just the Breakfast Hour, but on Friday, tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m., we have the Open Portal with Pastor Marquino Ferran as well. Our story time comes up. Of course, we want to thank our storytellers that tells the stories of the Bible for our youngsters to enjoy and listen. I want to say, what good? Go in peace. Elise, say the last word. Let us get out of here. Have yourself a good day.
May the Lord bless you abundantly more than you can ever ask, think, or imagine.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever our beat is forever. Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do our actions even matter? Or is this a fate? At least now I'm feeling better. I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air. Look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours
Stay tuned. You're listening to Flashpoint Radio.
Princes and paupers, sons and daughters, kneel at the throne of grace. Losers and winners, saints and sinners, one day